We got a lot of wild dill growing in the yard this year. We had planted some a couple years back, but this season it's really taken off. This is the wild dill, and as you can see, it's beginning to bloom. And here's a swallowtail caterpillar. They feed on wild dill, and he's in his caterpillar stage right now, and they're eating until they're a good size. And then he'll crawl off and find somewhere safe to make a chrysalis. And I'm not sure of the time frame for swallowtails, but maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, they come out as a butterfly. We've had a bunch of swallowtail butterflies around this spring, and apparently we've got a whole lot more on the way. But this is one of their main food sources. And if you smell this plant, it smells just like the dill that you use for spices that you buy in the grocery store. And it's just a wild version of it. Oh, and here's another one. Here's a second one. Can you see him?
Yes.
He's really good size. I think he's bigger than the first one. So that's the second one in this one little area. And we did see another guy.
We'll move down there and shoot him. Go.
Here's the third caterpillar that we have in this one little area that's maybe, 6 by 10? I mean, it's not very big. Anyway, this is the third one. And he apparently has climbed onto the passion flower vine. And more than likely, that's where he's going to make the chrysalis and become a butterfly. So if you like to encourage butterflies in your garden, if you can plant some dill, I believe they also eat parsley. Information's readily available, of course, on the internet, but I know the wild dill certainly does work. But they become beautiful swallowtails, and you can enjoy them on the wing at that point. But they're even beautiful as caterpillars. I mean, the design on him is incredible.
Go.
Here's our prickly pear cactus in bloom. It's a great season for the prickly pear, as you can see. The proper amount of moisture brought on a prolific bloom. And all these are going to end up being tunas. They call them tunas, but they're actually the pear, the fruit of the cactus, which is edible. A lot of people make jam out of it, use it in dishes and drinks. It's quite tasty if you've never tried it before. It's supposed to have a lot of health benefits. Also, the nopales, which is the green part, the new growth, is also beneficial to health in various ways, and it tastes sort of like string beans. You have to scrape off the thorns, and then you can cut it in thin strips and saute it, and it tastes like green beans. We got a bunch of it going here with the blooms. It's just outrageous, and the honeybees love it.
Yeah, I got them.
It's a good source of nectar for them, and they certainly do enjoy it. It makes a beautiful showing in your yard if you can grow them where you are. Obviously, a place that you don't want to be weeding or doing anything too close to, but they are a beautiful thing. Good sized blooms too. What do you think? They're 4 inches across?
At least 3.
Some of the larger ones are probably 4.
Yeah.
But it's a great season for them, and we're going to have lots of the fruit coming on. Usually when you harvest them, you do it with tongs because there's little tiny thorns that are on the fruit, and of course big ones on the pads themselves. So you do it with kitchen tongs, and then you can take a torch to them, like a propane torch, and burn the thorns off. Then they can be handled pretty readily to cut it and pop the fruit out. Just sort of make a slice down the center of it, and the skin rolls back and you have the fruit. We just wanted to give you an idea of what it looked like. It's been a great spring for them. We've enjoyed them blooming. Now that one's definitely 4 or 5 inches
Yes.
across.
That's why I went in for a close-up on that one.
Yeah, there's lots and lots of versions of this. They call it opportuna. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but the scientific name for this cactus, but there's many, many versions of it. And this particular one that Dwight's showing now is referred to as the thornless variety. It has shorter thorns and not as many of the small, the ones that get you that you don't even know they've got you till later, as opposed to the standard variety where it has the big thorns that you notice right off.
Yeah, notice right off. That's an understatement.
But this has become quite an impressive stand. This all started with a couple little pieces of it that were down in the what we call the lower yard, where you all see us feeding the deer, and it's down below where we feed. It came from a mother cactus down there, and it was simply 2 or 3 petals, and that's all you need to get them started. They're not very particular. In fact, I think we cut it off with a Ginsu knife and just stabbed the paddle so we didn't get bit, and just cut a slit in the ground and put it in, and that's what started this entire patch. So if you like them, they're not hard to get going, and they are very hardy as far as temperature extremes. Even where other things freeze out, they hang in there.
Yeah, these froze out this winter, but they're back.
Back with a vengeance.
All right. That's about it for the front yard. Let's take a look and see if there's anything else.
Okay.